This is a cinematic introduction for the 2004 game Godzilla Save the Earth, and I just remade it using modern visual
Whoa, this is, oh my goodness, this is good.
effects because it's my favorite piece of Godzilla media. You see, not only did it feature a plethora of Godzilla's enemies teaming up to destroy the city and take him on, but the dynamic and cinematic camera movement, proper scale framing, and incredible fluidity and effects were things that we Godzilla fans hadn't seen from our
This would be so amazing. Like, I would love a freaking remake of the Pipework Godzilla series. It would be so amazing. Why don't they do it? They will make but they will make so much money, but that game will replace Kaiju Universe straight up. Like, if a game like that really exists, it will replace Kaiju Universe. Like, if they add all the creatures like Pacific Rim Kaiju, like all the Showa, the Heisei, the Millennial, the Reiwa Arrow, like Shin, all of them, they will make so much money, bro. Like, it will replace Kaiju Universe if they ever make something like that. It will replace it.
And when it started circulating the internet in 2008, my 10-year-old brain fell in love. I soon after began to make my own little movies with my Godzilla toys, and 15 years later,
I agree. Godzilla Unleashed deserve more love. I like it. I like it. Then people say the reverse, they don't like the reverse because of the controls. I mean, the controls can be annoying sometimes, but it doesn't bother me like that. It's annoying, but it doesn't bother me to the point where I say I don't like the game.
Here I am. I've always dreamed of seeing an updated version, and because there might be another 10-year-old kid out there waiting to be inspired just how I was, I took it upon myself to update it with modern visual effects and remake my favorite piece of Godzilla media. To do this, the first thing we need, like always, is a 3D model, or in this case, 3D models. Luckily, being the Godzilla guy, I already had a head start. However, this old model is inaccurate and not up to my current standards. I made it from my old videos where I had to have 10 Godzillas on screen at once, so I couldn't go all out on just one model as I didn't want my brain or computer to explode. But considering that I just bought a 4090, my mental health was apparently too stable, and I even had money left over to buy a fire extinguisher, I wanted to try and go all out for this. So I brought my old model into ZBrush, cranked up the polygons, and decided to sculpt every scale by hand to try and make it as accurate to the—
Damn, this dude is good. Look at that. Damn. He put in work. Look at that. But he put every single detail, every crevice, every scale. That is good.
Real suit as possible. Once I had finished and gone to therapy, I brought it in for texturing, which is where I give it color and try to make it look like a real thing instead of just polygons. I then brought it back to Blender to give it a skeleton, which will allow me to animate it later on. With this, we had our finished model of Godzilla 2000.
Godzilla 2000!
Next up is my personal favorite, Kiryu, or Mechagodzilla 3 for you heathens. Thankfully, I already had quite a high quality model of him, so he just needed a subdivision and some procedural scratches and highlights for those shots where we get really up close.
Bro, he added the smallest detail like scratching and stuff. That is some next level stuff, bro. Like, but this is amazing. Like, he might as well, bro might as well make his own game. Hop on Roblox and make his own game straight up. That game will blow up the entire Godzilla community for real. Just make his own game. That's all he got to do.
Godzilla 3.
Actually, I don't like that. Give me 1 second.
Kiryu.
Hell yeah. For King Ghidorah, the clues definitely tell us that it's supposed to be Heisei Ghidorah, at least visually. But my Heisei model is really outdated, and I spent all my time sculpting Godzilla's scales. So remaking Ghidorah from scratch was out of the question. Seeing the original again, none of what we see is really consistent with only one version, so it gave me an excuse to forego accuracy and instead use this fabulous Shin Ghidorah model from our friend Bynate.
Shin Ghidorah!
And now last and least, for Megalon and Gigan, nah, I'm just kidding, Gigan is pretty cool, and Megalon...
Yes, like, bro, he is insanely good. Like, bro, people like this deserve more love. They deserve more love. Like, the fact that they spend hours and hours and hours working on beautiful models and they don't get the love they deserve. He deserves millions of views. Like, hell, he deserves so many views. Yet, the simple stuff like what other people be doing, like that little TikTok stuff they be doing, like the little simple, goofy little dances, bobbing your head up and down, getting billions of likes. Nah, bro, that ain't nah. That is what not. I don't call that talent. That's not talent. Stuff like that, animators, stick creators, like stuff like that, they got talent. They deserve millions of views. They deserve all that stuff. The rest of the people who do that little cringy, cheesy stuff, nah, bro, you don't put in no work. You don't put in no work at all. You don't.
But for them, I simply downloaded pre-existing models and gave them both a slight retexture to make them look extra sexy.
Gigan.
I like that
Megala.
too.
Once all the models are ready to go, it's time to start the animation. Now typically, this is where I would spend the next couple of days animating them by hand, which I definitely did for all of them except Godzilla. Considering Godzilla has traditionally been a guy in a costume, there was no more fitting thing than to do the modern equivalent of that and try to do motion capture for the big G.
He did
So
motion
I got my
capture?
very expensive motion capture suit from X.
He did motion capture? God damn.
Whose very tight shirt reminds me that I should lock my pantry after 3 a.m. And once I was strapped in, I ran through the entire scene and just really tried to channel my inner 300-foot tall monster. I then brought this motion data back into Blender and applied it to my skeleton. At first it looks pretty wonky, but this is where retargeting comes in, which allows me to put everything where it needs to be. What was really amazing about this is that in less than a day, I was able to have completed and super high quality animations, which would have taken me at least a couple of days to try and get to this fidelity. And the last step inside Blender was to add in that special sauce, which is applying wiggle to things like the spines and thighs, which makes the monsters look and feel heavy and much more realistic. Once all the animations are finished, I poured everything into Unreal Engine so I can do this scene build and get our final image. This is just a back and forth between getting something that works for the scene and looks good on camera.
Yo,
If you
this
remember
looks so
seeing the
freaking
animations
good.
from earlier, you might
Goddamn.
have noticed one glaring issue: no tail movement. The solution is to make a physics asset so certain bones from the model can interact with their surroundings if they're set to simulate.
Bro,
I'm then able to
this is so freaking complex. I don't know, bro. If I ever decide to start this, I want to know where to start. It'll take me like a year to get good at it, bro. It is so complex. Like, gosh.
record this motion and apply it back into our shots. But I bet you thought I almost forgot about the most important character, the fisherman, but I didn't. While there are a few different ways to create a 3D human, I wanted to try my hand at Unreal's metahumans, which are super high fidelity human models. So I opened up the metahuman editor, which works in your browser for some reason, and I customized the metahuman to match it as closely as possible to the original one. I also had to make him go balding, as it makes adding a cap to him much easier. Sorry
This is
guy,
so
I again
good.
motion captured his movement and then exported him out to Blender so I could apply this motion. This is also where I gave him his sweater and his cap, and now it's all back into Unreal.
Fisherman.
The scene build was relatively simple. I made the sonar inside of After Effects and added it to my scene, and the last step was the facial animation, which I really want to delve into more in a future video. I was going to do the same thing for the singer girl, but I was tired and lazy at this point. So I instead got this piece of stock footage, got AI to rotoscope it for me, which was fantastic, then just added this background and made it glitch out into the G4 sign. I can then just add this into my scene along the Pipeworks logo to give credit to the original creators. And now for how to make the worst NPC crowd of all time. You start off by running out of video memory, which you can tell when things begin to get blurry. There is this really nice NPC crowd from Epic Games themselves.
Bro, it is so much stuff, dude. Oh my, hold on. Man, I'm gonna like this video, but I don't care. I mean, I ain't subscribed. What? I wasn't subscribed to him? Oh no, oh no. I wasn't subscribed. Damn. That's a screw up right there on my part.
But it's too fancy for us right now. Thankfully, these exist, and they even come with animations. So we drop them all into an actor blueprint, scatter them around, and give them their animations. Then we're able to drop them in and duplicate them. I also did the same thing for the traffic, where I created a long line of cars, then simply scattered them around as needed. And the last step is just ensuring the camera is sufficiently far away. For the footsteps, I simply took these debris pieces and animated them coming out of the ground with every step, with a little particle system, it looks pretty great. The last thing I needed were the flying saucers. I could make these quickly, but I opted instead to get these ones to have them be a bit more modern. And now, with all the visuals finished, I could hit render, which would take around 12 hours for the entire thing. So, needing a break to recharge my batteries for the final stretch, I got my old Godzilla DVDs and popped one in. But in my tired stupor, I didn't realize I had popped in Godzilla's Revenge, the worst Godzilla movie, and I instantly died. The only cure was a better Godzilla movie, and luckily, my laptop was at arm's reach. Unfortunately, being Canadian meant nothing good was available, but I didn't fret because with NordVPN I was able to switch my location to Japan. I put on a good one and was instantly revived. Not only that, but now NordVPN is protecting my browsing to stop attacks from hackers and prying eyes that may want my data. It's also one of the fastest VPNs in.
He's sneaky. He's sneaky with it. He's sneaky for making this an ad. I haven't caught on to it, but yeah, this is an ad. Yeah, he's sneaky. He's sneaky with it.
World, meaning that you'll get the same internet speed with all the extra
he's sneaky
benefits.
with it.
You also get protection for up to 6 devices, meaning your information and traffic are always protected. And so that something like this doesn't happen to you, I'm here giving you a totally risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee
you sneaky
with my
with it.
code FILMCORE to receive 4 months free on a 2-year plan. So don't wait and download it now. Once it had finished rendering, I added music and then brought it in for sound mixing, which is where I add sound effects. The last step was to do some light post-processing, and now, with everything out of the way, here is our modern remake of the Godzilla Save the Earth introduction.
Hey guys, Manscaped and the Testicular Cancer Society have partnered up to introduce the TC.
Man, look at this shit, bro.
Godzilla!
Bro, this looks so awesome.
And so, needless to say, I'm very happy with how it turned out, and I hope I made the original creators and my 10-year-old self proud. But I only gave myself 30 days to do this, and I had a lot of fun, which makes me wonder what I could do if I had a little more time to make something of my own. Huh.
Get that sugar.
It's going to take a while. Subscribe.
Man, that was awesome, dude. Hold on, I gotta blow my nose. That was freaking awesome.